Now what I like to show in this video is just how to add a bit of depth or flair to the icon itself. This icon we took off the internet and literally just used it. It was originally a PNG, but we saved it as an ICO file by using the plugin. If you want to see how that's excuse me, see how that's done, go see my other video on how to assign icons to libraries. Okay, so in this video we already have our icon, and I've opened up this one because it already has some settings that I'm going to borrow. Now, I'm a software developer, so I'm not the best at Photoshop. So if you see me doing something that you think there's a better way, please let me know. And I always like to learn new techniques. Okay, so what we have here is what I'm just going to do is actually the first thing I'd like to do. I'm going to dock that back in there. First thing I'd like to do is I'd like to actually grab everything that's gray, or even grab the forks and stuff. And so what I'll do is I'll select color range, and sorry, select a color range, and I'm just after the forks and stuff. Okay, perfect. And what I'll do is I'll do deselect. Let's see. I'll hold down the Alt key to deselect. Oops, deselected everything. That's not what I was after. So we will try that again. Okay, look, we'll just select it. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I can erase it. Then I do Control J to copy it. And to give you an idea of what that just did, I'll add a background color. Oops. Just do a background color of gray. And you'll. Okay. I'm struggling with this because I'm used to, there we go, used to having this in full screen mode, and I'm not, so we'll do it, let's do it like blue. Bing. Okay, so Alt, backspace, and okay, there we go. So you can see that we have that, that selected. So all I wanted to show here was, I tend to like make copies of all the steps. I know there's a history and stuff. I'm a bit silly that way, but basically, I'm just going to erase, this, so that we just have the spoons and the forks. Again, this I tend to spend way too much time. It's more of a recreation. Okay, and sometimes what I like to do when I do that is I like to actually create another layer and scroll down. I can't see because this is. Scroll down, and I'll do something like a solid or color overlay. And what that does is it just gives me an idea, and I'll do some kind of absurd color. The reason why I do that is I just to see if I miss something, if I didn't delete something, and of course it might be better if we do it with like a white background or something, but so it'll stand out more. And, excuse me. So it looks like I got everything, so I'm pretty happy with that actually. And we can now change this color to something a little more nicer, or we can even give it maybe a gradient. Give it like a silver gradient, or yeah. Do that, and then we'll actually keep it white. So we'll turn off this. I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyway, that's what we'll have for now. And we can always do things like, actually, I might keep that overlay, sorry, as red, because I'd like to do things that are a little bit silly. So like I like to do cutouts. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we'll create kind of a gray plate. I'm holding down Shift while I do this, so to give us a uniform circle. Now I don't want it too big. I want it to give it a little bit of room. Of course, we can adjust it up here too. Maybe 235 by 235. Oh. Okay, and then we'll just set it. There might be a better way to do this. Oh, you know what? If I'm making it, it'll make it easier to center. Even number. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to bring this, drop this down here as well so we can see it. Now I'm going to give it an effect. Sorry, not a stroke per se. We could do a stroke. That does kind of add a nice thing. Maybe just a thin stroke, and we'll do a light gray like that. Kind of matches. Now this seems kind of similar to what it was before, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some gradient, give it a bit of flare, I guess we call it. Now what's nice about when you do gradients is you can actually drag them, kind of place them where you want. So I'm going to kind of do it like that. And so, okay, we're not going to do anything terribly fancy. The next thing we'll do is we'll just make sure we're on white. We want pure white. So hexadecimal of 255, 255, 255, or FF. And we'll go over to the pen tool, and we're just going to draw. This is a technique I saw someone do on a YouTube channel one time. And some graphic artists laughed at me because I did it this way, but that's okay. I kind of like doing it this way. And what it is you just create this shape that sort of overlaps, and then what you do is you come down here and you deselect that, deselect this, and give it a solid color. Give it a solid color. So color overlay, and I'll do something like that. And the idea is you just want it so that you can select it and you turn everything else off, not for gradients and everything else. Stroke. And oh, the one thing I will mention, one effect we do want is we want to do bevel, and that just gives it a bit of depth. Now, the key thing is this: if it's 3, I like to do 3 is fine, or 5, whatever. But I like to give it a bit more depth. Yeah, let's keep it at 3, a bit more depth, and then I like to soften it out quite a bit too. Just kind of gives it a button look, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so then once we have that, and we have that silliness happening, then what we can do is you just keep the solid color on and do select color range, and then you can pick your color, and it just makes it so that it's easy to select. Then what you do is, since the bevel is 3, we'll bring this down by 3. So the selections are modify and say contract to 3 pixels. Makes the selection 3 pixels inward, the radius 3 pixels smaller. And then what you do is you come over to your shape, and you now make that visible, and you can hide the other things. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because you have this selected. Then what I do is, actually I forgot to do it. Control J, and then you rasterize it. Right click, rasterize, turn it off. And then what I do is, now it's rasterized, I do Control J, and it actually makes that cutout. And what you can do is just change the opacity down to almost nothing. Usually about 20 or 8 to 20. We'll keep it at that. And then now we'll turn on all the other things that we had on, color overlay, bubble, and we'll turn on gradient and just It's very subtle, actually. You can't really notice it. You notice it more if, let's say, this was black. Let's just give this a black or a darker color. You know, restaurant. You know, so you notice the shine a bit more, depending on how dark this is. So my gradient overlay perhaps could be a bit darker. Maybe make this black. Right, it's black. Let's just pick another one. What's that? Oh, something like that. Oh. I have it. Yeah. So we can drag this over wherever we want. That's kind of nice, actually. And you can also change, you know, where this is going as well. But we'll keep it like that for now. Yeah. Anyway, and you can make this look a little bit smoother and a lot nicer as well. I just did it super quick. So there you have it. It gives it a little more flair. And so now if we can save this as here and see if we have the original still. Yeah, we do. Just have the original. So that looks good as well. That probably actually looks better than the original one. But I guess what we could do to kind of give it a kind of a cooler fill is we can just create another one of these circles, and we can save this. Let's go ahead and save this as so up here. Let's save it as an icon. Let's call it the second one. So the first one is actually pretty good. So we'll call this 1. Say OK, and then what we'll do is we'll go there basically, but with your username, and then you right click on your recipes and explain text. Now we can just change that to a 1. Save it. X again. Let's take out yes. Save, and now you'll see that indeed it's updated. So it just added a bit more flair, a little more, you know, shine and depth. And as you can see, even though that shine wasn't perfect, it's kind of not too noticeable. Anyway, that's how you create an icon with a bit of flair. And it is kind of nice when you do it at a higher resolution, because you do get, you get to, it just looks good, you know. And at lower resolutions, it does start to break down a bit. It still looks good there. It looks actually, it doesn't look too bad there. But as you get small, it kind of does get a little bit pixelated. But yeah. So anyway, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on just how to make an icon look a little bit shiny and nice. It's quite simple on how to do. All right, thanks for watching.